KBRFradio.com News, I'm Derek Sidian, and this is the weekly news recap, brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument, online at foreverstonmemorial.com, memorials that matter. Crews have been hard at work on the Highway 210 I-94 interchange reconstruction project. Resident MnDOT engineer Jesse Miller says there are multiple sections of the project being worked on. One of the crews has been working on underground piping. Storm sewer and culverts have been installed from Redwood Lane to the west, and pipe crews are continuing that work around the intersection by Mabel Murphy's and Walmart and working east of Redwood Lane. Last week, the bridge crew finished driving pile for the piers. Now workers are driving pile on the west abutment and pouring concrete for the center pier. Another crew is rebuilding the west side on and off ramps. Miller says that the project is on schedule. While the I-94 interchange ramps are closed, Highway 210 and the surrounding businesses remain accessible during construction. News updates on the Highway 210 I-94 interchange reconstruction project are powered by Falls Laundromat and Vector Windows. A dryer fire at the Green Plains ethanol plant in Fergus Falls Wednesday night only resulted in minor damage to insulation. The Ottertail County Sheriff's Office says that dispatch received a report of a fire at the facility at around 10 o'clock. Through the course of the investigation, deputies determined that workers located heavy black smoke in the dryer during a startup process. Workers on scene provided water to the area until the Fergus Falls and Elizabeth fire departments arrived. The plant was not evacuated due to the incident. A Purim man has been sentenced to over 8 years in prison for possessing a large quantity of methamphetamine with the intent to sell. Prosecutors say that after a high-speed vehicle chase on December 26th, Ottertail County deputies found 56-year-old Larry McClendon Jr. in possession of 3 bags of methamphetamine, 1 larger and 2 smaller, as well as hundreds of small baggies and a digital scale. Court documents say that one of the bags submitted to the BCA for testing weighed 55 grams. McClendon pleaded guilty to first-degree sale of drugs and was sentenced to 98 months at the Minnesota Correctional Facility in St. Cloud. A teenager has been arrested for breaking into a Battle Lake gas station on Memorial Day. The Ottertail County Sheriff's Office says that at around 1 o'clock Monday morning, deputies responded to a burglary alarm at Cenex gas station in Battle Lake off State Highway 210. Upon arrival, deputies found a door to the business had been forced open. It was later determined that several items had been stolen during the incident. A 16-year-old suspect was identified and was later located and arrested. He has been taken to the West Central Juvenile Center in Moorhead on charges of third-degree burglary, possession of burglary tools, and first-degree criminal damage to property. No other information has been released. A North Dakota man was discovered to be driving a stolen vehicle in Ottertail County after being pulled over for using his phone while driving. Prosecutors say 37-year-old Marquis Jarrell Charleston of Williston was pulled over in a gray Jeep SUV by a state trooper at around 6:30 last Saturday night for swerving on the road and crossing the center line multiple times. When walking up to the car, the trooper observed Charleston's phone was face up and open to a message app. The trooper says Charleston admitted to reading messages despite Minnesota's hands-free law. During the traffic stop, the trooper was informed by dispatch that the Jeep had been reported stolen out of North Dakota earlier that day. Charleston was taken into custody. He made his first court appearance Tuesday morning and has been charged with the unauthorized use of a motor vehicle and receiving stolen property, as well as violating the hands-free driving law. On Wednesday, M-State announced the departure of Jody Holloman after 6 seasons as head coach of the women's basketball team. Holloman is taking on a new role as head girls varsity basketball coach at Morris Area High School. Holloman guided the M-State Lady Spartans to a regional championship in her first season and has earned recognition as a Coach of the Year honoree. Known for her emphasis on fundamentals and team culture, she prioritized recruiting athletes who uplift their teammates and demonstrate a strong work ethic. M-State co-athletic director Jason Retzloff says Jody has made a lasting impact on the college and its student athletes. Quote, "She cares deeply about her players as people first, and that commitment to mentoring and building strong teams has been the hallmark of her time here. We're grateful for everything she has given to our program and wish her the very best." End quote. M-State has begun the search for a new women's basketball coach. The Minnesota DNR is rolling out a new electronic licensing system starting June 9th, giving hunters and anglers more ways to buy their licenses. Officials say the upgrade replaces a 25-year-old system and responds to years of feedback, including demand for online options and a mobile app. Fish and Wildlife Division Director Kelly Straka says users will be able to store licenses right on their phones, making access easier in the field. In-person purchases at local shops, bait stores, and gas stations will still be available. As part of the transition, hunting and fishing licenses will be temporarily unavailable for purchase from June 2nd through the 8th. The second annual Downtown Fergus Falls Sculpture Walk opening celebration is this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 3 at the Senior Center. Sculpture Walk manager Naomi Schliessman says, quote, "This event is more than an art tour. It's an opportunity to gather together, explore downtown through creativity, and experience how public art can spark imagination for all ages." End quote. Schliessman will be giving a guided tour at 1:30 to each sculpture installation, sharing the stories and inspiration behind the artist's work along the way. There will also be a hands-on activity at Otter Cove Children's Museum where kids can create and race their own boats inspired by Kyle Falcon's sculptures in front of Otter Cove. The selected sculptures were chosen by the Fergus Falls Public Arts Commission and are for sale by the artists. In addition to these temporary installed sculptures, the Fergus Falls Sculpture Walk features numerous public art pieces that are part of Fergus Falls' permanent collection. This has been the Weekly News Recap, brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument, online at foreverstonememorial.com, memorials that matter. For KBRFradio.com News, I'm Derek Sidian. Tune in at 5 o'clock every Friday afternoon on KBRFradio.com or the Fergus Now app to stay up to date with local news. Find more stories on KBRFradio.com. Sign up for email news sent right to your inbox, delivered by Cooper's Office Supply.